HVAC Services, AMC Custom Sheds, Northeastern Supply, number 65, Austin Hubbard. Row 5 inside, 9th starting position, the Smith Productions Blue Ox Energy. Number 34 out of Oxford, New York, is Rusty Smith. And alongside of him, rolling off from the 10th starting position out of Oswego, New York, driving in the Mid-State Basement Authority, Signworks, number 71, Jimmy Zacharias. And alongside of him, final starting position, going from 11th out of Perth, Ontario, Canada, in the trailer country, number 66M, Corbin Millar.
All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The opening event on the racing program. Ready to go. Here come the Short Track Super Series Mighty Modifieds to the green. 10 laps is the distance. 7 will qualify as they motor into the corner. Heat number 1 is underway. And down the back straightaway, we got Bobby Watkins grabbing the lead.
His teammate Tim Millman drifted up the racetrack. Jordan Watson drives underneath of him, grabs the runner-up spot. Got a couple of cars nearly getting together there at the back of the pack, but up front, Bobby Watkins will lead the opening lap.
Into the turn. Now we've got a battle for the number 3 spot off the turn. Down the back straightaway, we've got Eric Rudolph working on the inside. Down the back straightaway, Rudolph will grab the 3rd spot.
Working out of the corner, Bobby Watkins looking steady out front. Jordan Watson second. Eric Rudolph is third. Tim Millman back to fourth. Millman on the bubble for that final redraw spot. Robert Bublak is there, and here comes Austin Hubbard. Hubbard showing hot laps was no fluke from 8th, trying to grab 5th away down the backstretch.
Good 3-car battle. Hubbard to the outside of the turn. Here comes Alex Payne. Alex had some good hot laps last night. Payne to the outside, around Zacharias, outside of Bublak down the straightaway.
Jeff, it's heat number 1, and they are against the wall down in 3 and 4, getting close in 1 and 2.
Into the turn right now, Bobby Watkins out of Harrington, Delaware, heading down the straightaway. Regular at Georgetown and Delaware International Speedways, charging into the turn with the lead. Right behind him in the number 2 spot is the Delaware International champion, Jordan Watson.
Watson can't catch Watkins up front. Alex Payne threading the needle around Tim Millman, grabbing that 5th spot. Now going to try and run down that battle in front of him. Hubbard has calmed down on the bottom right behind Eric Rudolph. They're 3rd and 4th. Gilchrist drifts the cross flags. We're halfway through heat number 1, and here comes Alex Payne.
We got troubles in turn 4. We got Jeff Taylor up against the outside wall, and the yellow lights are on. This will regroup the field. Boy, oh boy, Chris. Opening race of the Sunshine Swing, Heat 1 for the Modifieds, and are they going at it?
Awesome to see. We are in heat number 1. How many places are drivers right against the wall in the opening heat race of the night? Not many, but Wendell Duranzo's All-Tech Raceway is one of them. Alex Payne, Austin Hubbard making hay up on the top side. Hubbard has driven from 8th into that 4th and final redraw spot. Alex Payne started 7th, fell back a little bit there in that opening lap or two, but is now to 5th and was closing on Rudolph and Hubbard. As I said, Hubbard had kind of dropped to the bottom there after getting to 4th. I don't know that Payne really wanted this yellow. He was closing in, and the top groove was open for him, and that's where he was making his hay.
Unbelievable. Well, Bobby Watkins. Bobby Watkins is a veteran driver from the first state of Delaware. Had been a modified driver, then took some time off, then came back with a 602 car for quite a number of years. This year, back in the modifieds. And, boy, he drew the number 1 spot. He was gone. Checking out. Delaware International Track Champion last year, Jordan Watson, with a new ride, the Dan Sommerling. Danny Speeds the Pizzazz, Liberty Kenworth, number 51. He is in the number 2 spot. Eric Rudolph, who always seems to run well here at All-Tech Raceway. He is in 3rd. 4th spot is now Austin Hubbard. 5th spot is the 70 of Alex Payne. Sixth spot alongside of him, Rusty Smith, who started back in ninth spot. So the guys starting near the back are working their way front. And the seventh and final qualifying spot right now is the 4T Tim Millman. So Robert Bublak, then Jimmy Zacharias and Corbin Miller next in line. 7 will qualify and 4 going to the redraw. First of 3 10-lap heats for the Short Track Super Series Bob Hilber Sportswear. Big block, small block, modified. You will have 4 qualifying heats for the 602 Sportsman coming up. Night 1 of the Sunshine Swing here at All Tech Raceway. 10th anniversary season of the Short Track Super Series is underway. Joe Chris looks them over. Here they come. Into the Sunoco starting zone. We go back to green. The two Delaware hot shoes go at it down into the corner. Watson on the outside, side by side with Wilkins. Down the back, make that Watkins down the back side by side, and it'll be Watson as the leader.
Yeah, Watson taking advantage of the restart, driving around Bobby Watkins. Now Eric Rudolph is on the bubble as Austin Hubbard got by, and here comes Rusty Smith. Rusty Smith into the fray. Alex Payne is there. 3-car battle for the final redraw spot, and a 2-car battle for the final transfer spot between Zacharias and Bublak.
Wow, Rusty Smith went by Payne and by Rudolph. Rudolph now on the inside, Payne on the outside trying to get around Rudolph, and now Rusty Smith has the last redraw spot after starting ninth.
Rusty Smith quietly, we talked about Payne and Hubbard. Rusty Smith is now to 4th. Now Payne trying to get back around Rudolph for the 5th spot. Joe Chris giving the parallel sticks 2 to go this time by battle for the runner-up spot.
Yeah, well, you don't need time trials, just go race. How about it? Down the straightaway. Here comes Austin Hubbard charging into the corner. Hubbard started in 8th. He is battling for 2nd with Bobby Watkins with Jordan Watson leading the way. Down the back straightaway now, Alex Payne going to the outside of Eric Rudolph. He'll pick up 5th. Can Hubbard get 2nd? White flag for Watson. 1 to go.
One more time around, Watson leading. Good battle here for 2nd. Keep an eye on the battle for the final transfer spot as well. The Barron's Performance Warehouse, 1 to go.
Down the back straightaway, the Barron's Performance Warehouse, 1 to go for Hubbard. He gets the 2nd. Bobby Watkins now in the 3rd spot. Here comes the checkered flag, and the win will go to Jordan Watson, followed by Hubbard, then Watkins, Rusty Smith, Alex Payne, then the 25 Eric Rudolph, followed by the 71 of Jimmy Zacharias. Whoa, baby, baby. Heat number 1 was a good one. What a way to start off the 2023 season for the Short Track Super Series. Your 7 qualifiers, the 51 Jordan Watson, the 65 of Austin Hubbard, 3rd to 4 Bobby Watkins, 4th to 34 Rusty Smith up from 9th. They go to the redraw. 5th to 78 Alex Payne, 6th to 25 Eric Rudolph, and 7th to the 71 Jimmy Zacharias. We're going to have interviews with our heat race winners down to Chris Moore with the winner of Heat 1, that is Jordan Watson.
All right, we're down here with the winner of Heat number 1, Jordan Watson. Jordan, we talked earlier. You were good last night. Took you a couple laps to get going, but you found the top and rolled it.
Yeah, I was just trying to take my time there early. It was a little greasy. Happy to see that yellow there. Kind of got a chance there to move around and, just trying to buy my time there the way the track is. They're finally blowing it off a little bit. And the place is treacherous right now. You got spots where you're hooked up and you got spots where you're dead sideways. So it's going to be an interesting night, and I appreciate everything these guys are doing and see what we can do in the future.
All right, there he is, guys. Winner of Heat number 1, Jordan Watson. Jeff, I'll send it back to you for the lineup of Heat number 2.
Thank you, Chris. Good job for Jordan Watson. Pole position, Heat number 2. Driving in the dry zone, racing development, number 35 from East Canaan, Connecticut, Chris Curtis. Outside of him in the Comfort Experts 26R from Otisville, New York, Corey Cormier. Second row inside, driving the Smith Site Development 12S from Binghamton, New York, Darren Smith. Outside of him, the Premio Sausage 13 from Cream Ridge, New Jersey, Steve Davis. Row number 3 into the inside, driving in the Blinderman & Son Recycling. Number 7 from Hellertown, Pennsylvania, Rick Laubach. Alongside of him, the Hallmark International 44 from Sprakers, New York, Stuart Friesen. Fourth row inside, the Accurate Collision of Pompano Beach 16X from Würzburg, New York, Danny Creedon. Alongside of him, the MT Tree Service, Rick Holston, 96 from Frenchtown, New Jersey, Billy Pouch Jr. Row 5 on the inside, driving the BDR Speed, Craig and Leslie Pond is seen as equipment at number 6 from Pipersville, PA, Danny Buck alongside of him. Driving the 55J, that's Mario Clare. Mario in the Unicast Crusher Parts entry. In the final starting spot, the S&S Asphalt Paving 9 from Guilderland, New York is Mark Johnson. Here they come, heat number 2. Another 10 laps will qualify. 7 and sent 4 to the redraw. No start. Joe says no. Joe Chris, the Short Track Super Series starter, says no. They got to stay together and go to the final sign. You see the signs down there in turn number 4. There is a sign that says start. That's the Sunoco start sign. And a little bit further up the track is the restart sign. And you can see on the wall here at All-Tech Raceway, the wall is white all the way around on the outside, except down there in turn 4 it is yellow. That is the restart zone. But the starting line is the end of the wall or the inside barrier where you see the start sign. So they got to wait till they get to there on the initial start. After that, leader is lane choice on a double file restart, and they can go anywhere in the starting zone. But right now this is an initial start, so they got to wait until they get to the start line. Try it again. Chris Curtis up front in row number 1 with Corey Cormier. Here they come. Beautiful start off the corner. Heat number 2 for the Short Track Super Series modifieds into the turn. Curtis has the lead. They're 3 wide, a little further back in the pack. Cormier in hot pursuit of the leader.
Some heavy hitters here in heat number 2 for the modifieds. It's Curtis and Cormier leading the way. Good battle for third. Laubach trying to work underneath Darren Smith. Out of the corner, Rick Laubach will grab third. Then it's Smith, Davis, and Friesen under fire from Danny Creedon.
Into the turn, Darren Smith racing in 4th spot. Following him into the turn is Steve Davis, followed by Stuart Friesen and Danny Creedon. Creedon to the inside, making the move on Friesen. Pouch next in line, followed by Danny Buck. Friesen going to the outside lane.
Up front here, great back and forth battle for the lead. A seesaw battle between Cormier and Curtis. Cormier slid him the last time. Curtis drove underneath of him. This time, Cormier rolls the middle of 1 and 2. Corey Cormier now driving away with the lead.
Friesen made some big moves off of turn 4, went around one guy, underneath another one, entering turn number 1. Whoa! Friesen tries to pull a slider, and Darren Smith caught the front end, but he got him anyway. Both drivers able to keep on going as they head into turn number 1.
Top 3 have broken away, but it's now Stuart Friesen into that 4th and final redraw spot. Darren Smith is 5th. Danny Creedon is 6th, and Danny Buck occupies that 7th and final transfer spot. Steve Davis, Billy Pouch Jr., Mark Johnson all on the outside looking in. Pouch Jr. a near winner here last year. Mark Johnson, one of the fast cars last night in practice, bogged down outside of a transfer spot right now.
Down the back, Rick Laubach now battling Chris Curtis for the number 2 spot as they work into turn number 3. Friesen up the 4th, the last redraw spot, closing in on that duel. Curtis will keep Laubach at bay halfway home. Friesen now moving into Laubach. Following them is a battle between Danny Creedon and the 12 of Darren Smith.
Laubach going to the bottom. Curtis slipped up a little bit on the top off of turn number 2. Scooby making a bid to the inside. The Quaker Shaker trying to grab the runner-up spot. He'll drive it in deep on the bottom, slide up in front of Curtis. Curtis trying to cross him over. Stuart Friesen right there. Good 3-car battle here. And Darren Smith trying to run him down with that final redraw spot on the line. Friesen's got it. Darren Smith is closing quickly.
Yeah, Darren Smith was in a heated battle with Danny Creedon. Just like that, Smith shook off Creedon and is closing in on Friesen. Friesen trying to get around Curtis, but meanwhile, Darren Smith closing in on Friesen for the last redraw spot. We got a 3-car battle.
3 laps to go. Curtis might be a sitting duck right now. Friesen and Smith closing in. I don't know if Friesen knows he's got company. Smith trying to blast the outside. Friesen slides up in front of him. They get tied together, and Curtis opens some daylight. Smith trying to throw a bomb down into 3 and 4. Coming to 2 to go.
Remember, Friesen passed the 12 of Darren Smith several laps ago and looked like he was free of him, but Darren has closed back in very quickly. Meanwhile, Friesen having a devil of a time getting around Chris Curtis. Curtis battling with Friesen down the back now. Friesen will switch lanes going into 3, and he'll grab the spot. Here is the Barron's Performance Warehouse white flag. 1 lap to go.
1 to go. Curtis in the final redraw spot. Darren Smith is there. Danny Creedon has joined the fray. It's still a 3-car battle, even though Friesen's gotten out in front of it. Corey Cormier strolling with all the chaos behind him.
Cormier's got a big lead. He'll bring him out of turn number 4 and easily take home the checkered flag. Heat 2, Corey Cormier. Laubach will grab second after all the battling. Friesen will get third. Fourth spot will be Smith, followed by Curtis, then Danny Creedon, and the number 6 of Danny Buck. What a battle again in heat number 2. Another good one. Taking home the heat race win in the Comfort Experts number 26R, Corey Cormier. Runner-up spot going to the 7 of Rick Laubach. Third, the 44 of Stuart Friesen. Fourth, going to the 12 of Darren Smith. They will go to the redraw. Fifth spot, the 35, will be Chris Curtis. Sixth, the 16X, Danny Creedon. And seventh position will go to the number 6 of Danny Buck. 2 exciting heat races in the book so far for the Bob Hilbert Sportswear Short Track Super Series fueled by Sunoco Modifieds. Heat number 3 on deck. That'll be the final qualifying event for the Modifieds. We'll have 4 qualifiers for the 602 Sportsman. Chris Moore down front getting an interview now with our winner of heat number 2, Corey Cormier.
Thank you, Jeff. Corey getting off his helmet, putting on his Barron's Performance Warehouse hat. Corey had a great battle there with Chris Curtis early. You were able to get by him. Car looks really good right now.
Yeah, we did a couple little changes right before we came out, and this thing's sticking like glue, so hopefully we can carry it into the feature here and have a good run.
All right, good luck.
Thank you.
Corey Cormier, winner of heat number 2. Jeff, I'll send it back to you for heat number 3 lineup.
Thank you. Pole position driving in the 22, the Nedemski Trucking, RG Hoffman Electrical, VP number 22V, Tanner Van Doren. Alongside of him, driving the FX Caprera Honda number 99L, Lightning Larry White from Fulton, New York. Second row to the inside, the Ace Material 6 from the Shannock Station, New Jersey, Matt Stangl. Alongside of him, in the Steve Huff Motorsports number 21A from Brisbane, Australia, that's Peter Britton. Third row inside, in the Terry Fosnaugh Conestoga Valley Custom Kitchens 2A from Harleysville, Pennsylvania, Mike Gooler, actually Boyertown, Pennsylvania. Alongside of him, driving out of Savannah, New York, in the Herlock Auto Speed 9S, Super Matt Shepard. Row 4 inside, driving the BDR Speed, Penske Shocks number 20 from East Greenbush, New York, David Schilling. Alongside of him, driving the Genic number 35 from Three Rivers, Quebec, Francois Belmar. Fourth row inside, the Tim Gibson-owned Shackleton Auto and Truck Parts 27J, the Dr. Danny Johnson. The final starting spot out of Covington Township, Pennsylvania, the 84Y, Alex Yankowski. Kid Rocket, Alex Yankowski, the final starting spot, another 10 laps, 7 to qualify, 4 to the redraw. Heat number 3 is underway for the Mighty Modifieds. Oh, what a logjam. Down the back straightaway, David Schilling on the inside 3, wide into the turn, a little contact. Peter Britton rolls up the racetrack, and here comes Schilling and Britton off the corners.
Yeah, Schilling getting a great launch here on the start. Quickly into a redraw spot, looking for more. Britton in a dogfight with TBD. 3 wide behind him. Shepard, Stangl, Gooler. 2nd through 7th, all right together down the backstretch. Schilling getting great pull off at turn number 2.
He and Britton battle for 3rd. Schilling will make the move. He'll move in now on 2nd and battle with Tanner Van Doren. Matt Shepard now, after making his way by Mike Gooler, will make his way to the inside of Peter Britton. Here comes Matt Stangl. They're 3 wide again.
Yeah, Peter bobbled a little bit that time through 1 and 2. Now Gooler trying to drive underneath of him. Meanwhile, David Schilling continuing to just get a great run off at turn number 2. Now he'll get a drive underneath TBD. The thrilling David Schilling thrilling in this heat race from 7th to 2nd now. Going to lock in on the 99L of Larry White, but he's a long way out in front. Shepard trying to reel in TBD for the 3rd spot now.
Shepard going to the outside of Van Doren, down the back sweater, runs out of real estate. He'll try the inside into the turn, no dice. Meanwhile, the guy leading is only using 3 wheels. Larry White running the high line out front on 3 wheels out of the corner, lifting that pony tire off the racetrack. He's got a comfortable lead over Schilling. Shepard now switches to the inside going to turn number 1. He'll move by Tanner Van Doren for 3rd.
Larry leaving the left front at home. Schilling the 2nd. Shepard the 3rd. Peter Britton now has gotten his wits about him back. Now he's closing in on TBD. Van Doren hugging that bottom side. He's got the final redraw spot. Peter Britton wants it. We're cross flags halfway through. Britton to the top side, down in 1 and 2. Van Doren with a little bit of a push. Side by side, the 21 and 22.
Yeah, battle for the last redraw spot now between Britton and Tanner Van Doren, followed closely by Mike Gooler. Further back, we got Alex Yankowski battling it out with Matt Stengel. Right now, Batman Peter Britton. The Ryder Racing Steve Huff Motorsports 21A has taken over the 4th spot. Oh, Peter's almost against the rail over there in the corner, but he saved it.
Jeff, you talked about that battle between Jankowski and Stengel. That's for the final transfer spot, trying to avoid a run in a consolation race. Stengel and Jankowski, two young guns of the sport, trying to make their way into a transfer spot. Stengel's got it. Kid Rocket trying to wrestle it away. Jankowski will do so this time into turns 1 and 2.
Meanwhile, up front, look at what is happening. The huge lead Larry White had is disappearing. David Schilling in the BDR Speed Penske Shocks. Ollie's Bargain Outlet number 20 is closing the gap very, very quickly. Either he is getting faster or, because Larry White has switched to the bottom, has made the difference, but Schilling is closing quickly.
Either way, Schilling sending a message. He is here to contend. White gets a little sideways off of 4. Schilling is there one more time around. Can the Thrilling grab a heat race win from the 7th starting spot?
Well, I'll tell you what, he's on him now. Down the back straightaway. David Schilling is side by side with Larry White. He was a half a straightaway behind Larry White. And when he got the second, he's working out of the corner. Standby scores. Drag race to the line. It'll be Larry White edging out David Schilling for the win. Matt Shepard will get 3rd. Peter Britton 4th. 5th spot will be Tanner Van Doren, followed by Mike Guler and the 84Y of Alex Jankowski. Oh, baby, what another good one. Qualifier number 3 for the mighty big block, small block modifieds in the record books, and scoring the win, switching back to the top, the FX Caprera Honda Tracy Road Equipment number 99L, Lightning Larry White. Runner-up spot. He started back in 7th and tracked him down, coming up a very close 2nd. The number 20 David Schilling, 3rd the 9S Matt Shepard, 4th the 21A Peter Britton, they go to the redraw. 5th, the 22 Tanner Van Doren, 5th, the 2A Mike Guler, and 6th, the 84Y Alex Jankowski. Down to Chris Moore with the winner of Heat 3, Larry White.
Thank you, Jeff. Down here with Larry White. Larry, you were really good here last year. Got a good starting spot. How'd you feel out front?
I felt all right. Last couple laps, we just moving around, and then saw the 20 show me a nose, so got back to the top and made sure we gapped him out.
What do you think you got for tonight?
I think we got a really good balanced car right now. Make a couple of minor adjustments and just see what the track does.
All right, there he is, winner of heat number 3, final modified heat, Lightning Larry White.
Barris Performance Warehouse heats for the modifieds in the record books. Congratulations to our winning drivers, Jordan Watson, Corey Cormier, and Larry White. Here's the lineup for heat number 1 of 4 for the 602 Sportsman. And again, the drivers drew for their starting spots. Pole position out of Galloway, New Jersey, the Velocity number 73, Paulie Hartwig the 3rd, alongside. Driving out of Rutland, Vermont, the All Points Construction M2, Sean McPhee. 2nd row inside, the Madsen Overhead Doors 89 from Spencertown, New York, Dylan Madsen alongside of him. Driving the Interstate Batteries 38 from Cornwall,